I'm just outside of a tiny little Victorian town called Strathmerton. The Murray River is about 15 minutes that way, the border between Victoria and New South Wales. And this here is cactus country. You can buy things the size of your thumb, or this bad boy here that gets up to 15 metres. We were here 8 years ago when Graham visited Jim Hall, the creator of this unusual garden. It's kind of a cross between coral and something you'd imagine growing on another planet.
Yeah.
Since then, the garden's grown and Jim's passion for cactus has been passed on to his son, Little John. Mate, how did all this start?
Yeah, well, Dad had this crazy idea to plant a cactus garden back in 1986. And we officially opened in 88. It's sort of grown since then, so one crazy man's hobby. And then 10 years or 30 years later, we've got a 10-acre park of cacti.
I feel like I'm in Arizona or the Mexican border or something.
Yeah.
And there's people that love them and there's people that hate them. Now, the haters, I might find something here that you're going to fall in love with. And if you already love these guys, you are going to absolutely fall over head and heels in love with what you're going to see here. It's one of the best gardens of its kind, with cacti from all over the world.
We're in South America at the moment. We've got North America and Mexico next door, and then Africa on the other side.
If you wanted to start this from scratch now, you wouldn't be able to do it with quarantine, would you?
No, so the import laws now are quite strict, so you wouldn't be able to bring a lot of these plants in. I know that there are still people who bring in seed and also through quarantine do bring plants in, but it's a really big process, so it'd be a much harder job.
So striking, it looks like a living sculpture.
This blue candle cactus is just stunning.
Is the fruit worth anything? Can you eat it?
Yeah, it's beautiful. Let me grab one for you.
Oh.
Check this out. So you just peel it like an orange, and that is the edible part with the seeds in it.
What does that
Try
look like? That looks like...
Dragon fruit, I hear a lot.
fruit.
Good, right?
Great.
So we make cactus jam, cactus syrup.
Is it true that there's no Australian cacti?
That's true. There are no cacti native to Australia.
That's a shame. But as you can see, these cacti from all around the world are very much at home in our environment. While it's called cactus country, there's lots of succulents too. So what's the difference between a succulent and a cactus?
So the main difference is probably the spines used for shade modification, and also that succulents are much more leafy.
So the average person worries about the pricks and thinks that they don't have flower and colours.
Yeah.
But...
Case in point.
Yeah.
So cacti actually have really stunning flowers, so I think you get the beauty of the structural nature of the plants and how big and structural they grow, but then these little ones can just have stunning, stunning flowers.
Interesting looking plant, but it's not the most tactile. So are the spikes just for self-defence?
Partially. So a lot of these plants would have grown along a mountain range where there were hordes of llamas and alpacas and goats, and they would have eaten a lot of these plants had it not been for the spikes, but their soft nose wouldn't allow them to get close enough. The other reason is for shade modification, so you can imagine these are growing in quite harsh desert conditions. So as the sun moves across the sky, you get shade on different parts of the plant.
What's your favourite in here?
Oh, this hoodie is pretty cool.
Hoodie?
Yeah. This one might be a handy little diet tip for you as well.
What are you saying?
15 centimetres of this juiced up in the morning and can suppress the appetite for about 24 hours.
I'll take the lot.
Done.
There's over 4,000 plants in this garden, and on this scale, you can see how dramatic cactus can look in a garden. These are spectacular, and I can see them in normal suburban backyards.
Yeah. Yeah, they're stunning. And the thing I love about this is how it's grown over these huge rocks on the edge of the path, and it's swallowed them. You can't see the rocks anymore, but it's still kept that perfect shape.
Yeah, it looks like it's been pruned in shape.
Yeah. The most fascinating part of this job for me is when people come here and they think, oh, there's probably just a few pots in some crazy old man's backyard. and they walk through that entrance, and it's just like, wow. It's the look on their face. I think I'm a people person. I love to see the excitement in people's eyes, and for me, that's my favourite part of the job.